Welcome to the Trimble and Henry County's 4-H High Adventure program. This slideshow will cover most of the Level 3's backpacking expeditions using our Outdoor Adventures curriculum. You will need to complete this video, which is part 1 of 2-part series. You can follow along using your Level 3 Backpacking Expeditions Project Activity Guide. If you have any questions about the curriculum, you can contact your local 4-H Youth Development Extension agent.
Open your project activity guide to page 3. Pause the slideshow now and complete the pre-test. Remember, if you have the knowledge to a great extent, circle 1. If you don't know any of the knowledge, circle 3. When you are finished, you can resume the slideshow.
Welcome to the Backpacking Expeditions Level 3.
Land that has a wilderness designation has restrictions that may include required permit use, limits on group size, and prohibition against motor vehicle use. Be sure to follow all land management guidelines while backpacking. These guidelines help to preserve beautiful and unique tracts of land.
Research what you can and cannot do in Forest Service lands, Bureau of Land Management, state and national park lands, and wilderness areas before you go. Planning your trip, questions to consider. Number 1, who is going? Include the names of the leaders as well as all your group members.
Number 2, what are you doing? Will you be backpacking the entire time? Will you be base camping?
Number 3 is when. When are you going? Include times and dates of your departure of your trip and arrival back home, as well as the tentative outline for each day of the trip.
Where? Where are you going? What trails will you be traveling on? Will they be loops? Will you be staying at established sites or shelters? Where can you find water along the way?
Why? Why are you going? Is this a trip with your 4-H Outdoor Adventures group or with your family? What are your goals?
Be sure to know where your local hospitals and urgent cares can be found.
Also include emergency contact numbers of your family members that know that you're going places back home.
And be sure to plan an emergency evacuation plan.
Did you know that the standard brown paper grocery bag has 400 cubic inches of storage, while a backpack for camping may have anywhere from 2,500 to 6,000 cubic inches of storage? Your backpack that you're going to borrow from us is 3,966 cubic inches, but that does not mean you have to use it all. Please keep in mind, less is more.
What can you do to choose the right backpack? Please follow these suggestions. Measure your torso length. Although pack brands may differ in size, generally you'll need a small backpack if your torso measures less than 18 inches, a medium if you measure between 18 inches and 20 inches, and a large if your torso measures longer than 20 inches. To measure your torso, follow the curve of your spine from the bony bump at the back of your neck to the low space between your hip bones. Use a soft tape measure to measure.
Check those hips. Be sure the hip belt is directly on the crest of the hips, not around the waist. The hip belt needs to fit snugly without slipping.
Take time to select a pack. Use the store to test your backpack. Try to use stairs, bend, sit, and other things with your backpack on and low to determine how comfortably it fits. The longer you test the pack, the better chance you will like it after you purchase it.
Treat yourself to the best you can afford. Consider renting a pack before you purchase one.
Know your load. What are you going to carry? The approximate weight you will carry and how long you will carry the load. The season and the weather conditions during your trip are all important too.
Consider the environment in which you will be backpacking. Well-maintained trails versus backcountry with no amenities.
Think about versatility. Will the pack double as a day pack? Is it adjustable in length?
Respect your idiosyncrasies. Are you organized? Do you like pockets within reach? Do you want lots of pockets? Do you want a top-loading pack? Do you want dividers in the pack?
Plan with your partners and your group gear needs in mind. Who will carry what communal items to share the load?
And drink. Does your backpack contain space for hydration bladders, tubes, or bottles? Sometimes it's hard to weigh your pack and finding the perfect fit. Unless you have a set of luggage scales or a set of fish scales, you can be kind of difficult sometimes. First, you can take a set of bathroom scales and you can weigh yourself. That is going to be your base weight. Secondly, load everything into your pack, including water and everything you plan on taking for the trip. Try your pack on. Walk around the room a couple times. See how it fits. Make any adjustments that you need to. Is everything secured? Is there anything flopping around? Does your waist belt fit snugly? Fix anything that you can now. And then weigh yourself with your pack on. You want to take this weight and subtract your base weight without the pack, and that is how much your pack weighs. For the perfect fit, it's suggested that your backpack should not weigh more than 20% of your body weight. For example, if you're 120 pounds, your backpack should not be much more than 24 pounds. If you're 160 pounds, you can haul up to 32 pounds.
An extended backpacking trek is physically, mentally, and emotionally demanding. Each person may carry a 35 to 50 pound pack while hiking 5 to 10 miles per day. Getting in shape is important so you can better enjoy your trek, go further, and not feel as if you're working so hard.
Training for the trail. A physical exam. Although a physical exam is not required, however, it is recommended, especially if you had had any health issues in the past. When you're on the trail, breathe deep and move those legs. You will need to develop a program of regular aerobic exercises starting 2 to 3 months before your planned expedition is to take place. And remember, a 10-mile hike is completed by putting one foot in front of the other and taking it one step at a time.
Hike and backpack. The best way to train for a backpacking trip is to hike and backpack. Walk with a load on your back. Start with short, easy hikes while carrying a light backpack load. As your training hikes feel easier, begin to challenge yourself. Gradually increase the length and the speed of your walk as well as the weight in your pack. But remember, only increase one factor at a time, such as speed, duration, or weight.
Aerobic exercise. Other forms of aerobic exercise, such as swimming, bicycling, walking, jogging, and hiking uphill or up flights of stairs, can be used to supplement your training. Start slow and gradually increase the amount of time you exercise at your target heart rate for 30 minutes, at least 3 times a week. Your target heart rate should be 70% of your maximum heart rate. How to determine your target heart rate? First, find your maximum heart rate, your MHR, by subtracting your age from 220. Next, multiply your MHR, maximum heart rate, by 0.60, and that equals the lower end of the target heart rate zone. Next, multiply your maximum heart rate by 0.90, and that equals your upper end of the target heart rate zone. These two numbers represent your target heart rate zone. You should strive to stay between these numbers during your workout. For example, for a 30-year-old man, you take 220, subtract 30, and that equals 190. That's your maximum heart rate. 190 times 0.60 equals 114 beats per minute. That's your lower end. 190 times 0.90 equals 171 beats per minute. That's your upper end target heart rate. So your target heart rate zone for an average 30-year-old man is between 114 to 171 beats per minute. A 17-year-old target heart rate ranges from 121 to 182 beats per minute.
Leave no trace. There are 7 main principles to consider. The first is to plan ahead and prepare, which we have been discussing about. Always travel and camp on durable surfaces. Be sure to dispose of waste properly, whether human waste or paper and other trash. Always leave what you find. Do not take anything away from the camping and hiking area. Be sure to minimize your campfire impacts. Always respect wildlife. Always be considerate of other visitors that are on the trail too.
Environments and backpacking. In the deserts, water is scarce and plants grow slowly in the desert. Stepping on some of these plants may cause damage that takes decades to restore. Don't use wood for fires in the desert. Take a camp stove for cooking. Take only the water you need from the source. Leave the rest for the native animals. Pack out all human waste. Decomposition is very slow in hot, dry deserts.
Arctic and alpine tundra environments are actually quite similar to deserts. Both areas receive very little rainfall annually. The Arctic and tundra have very short growing periods, making rejuvenation difficult. Always stay on trails if they exist. Animal trails are great to follow. Place your tent and cook area on talus or snow to reduce your impact on the tundra. Weather conditions can turn quickly. Always plan well ahead and bring extra supplies. Avoid using group latrines. Waste will decompose faster in individual cat holes.
Snow and ice. Camping on snow and ice requires a lot of planning and experience. Always pack out all human waste and garbage. Avoid disturbing areas important to wildlife, such as dens with hibernating animals or areas that serve as winter feeding grounds.
Coast, rivers, and lakes. Camp on the shore above the high water mark. Never bury human waste or litter in the sand. Packing it out is best. If you cannot pack out human waste, scatter it close to the tide line where it can be washed away and will decompose.
Wetlands. Camping on wetlands also require planning. Avoid disturbing wildlife. Realize that you may need to sleep on a boat if you have trouble finding the shoreline or any ground dry enough to camp on. Pack out all human waste.
Forest. Rich with life, forests support a wide variety of plants, animals, and decomposers. Generally speaking, forests will receive a great deal of rainfall annually. This allows for a rapid rate of growth and regeneration as well as decomposition. Bury human waste in cat holes, approximately 6 to 8 inches deep. Anytime you find an established waste disposal site, use it. Pack out all food waste and trash. Open your project activity guide to page 3. Pause this slideshow now and complete the post test. When you are finished, please return a copy of your pre- and post test to your extension office.
Thank you for participating in the Level 3 High Adventure Backpacking Program slideshow. We thank you for your time and we look forward to our next camping adventures.